So I need to go and find this bishop who is in the monastery staying up. You know what? He's not expecting a penitent man, and especially a penitent man that did penitence at the instructions of a heretical woman. So let's get dressed, and also let's get cleaned up. I want to make a good impression. Okay, it's not that late yet. I have got enough time to have a very, very fast bath with nothing else. I think at the moment, the idea of my conscience getting a little stained by the presence of the bath maids is the least of Johanka's worries. So I'm a little more presentable. Actually, I'm a lot more presentable. But I'm still not totally sure how I should approach the Inquisitor. Should I try to convince him that Johanka is the real deal, and she is in fact speaking with, or listening to, the Virgin Mary, or should I try to, I don't know, convince him that I can convince Johanka to stop preaching? Not totally sure I can, though. No, I'm not. Now, I did read that book, and that book did seem to suggest... Actually, you know what? Before we... Okay, I can read it in here. That book did seem to suggest that women were very often the chosen ones of our Lord. Women think constantly of the concerns of our Lord, lingering in veneration until they are brought to tears and nourish evermore their love of Christ. In divine mercy and manifest visions and prophecies, women, I say, are 100 times more gifted than any man, and perhaps even priests. It seems, therefore, that the gift of prophecy and intimacy with the Holy Spirit is often bequeathed now to women. To them are revealed the great mysteries of God and great wisdom, as we know from the example of acclaimed Virgin Hildegard, the saintly Bridget, and many other women who already comprise a procession. These I have seen in Paris, Rome, Nuremberg, and in Prague. Okay, so if I name drop Hildegard and Bridget, is that one with Matthew of Yanau manuscript? I mean, mind you, the big question is, does the Inquisitor respect that particular manuscript? He said the upper levels, didn't he? Did he mean here? Okay. I'm going to guess yes. Is that looks like the Inquisitor? Let's just chat. No. Okay. Hello.
Sir, I am...
Henry of Scarlet, from the garrison of the Royal Hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla. I've heard a lot about you, my son. I'm pleased to meet you.
Okay, how come you're interested in me? That is a good question.
Bishop Yaroslav, sir, my lord, to what do I owe your interest in my humble self?
I was told you survived the massacre in Skalitz and warned the Talmberg garrison. You tracked down the raiders of a stud farm in Neuhof, wasn't it? To their hideout in the woods. And then you led Sir Radzig and his armed company there and joined bravely in the skirmish, and even killed their notorious leader by your own hand. And I believe you have many other deeds to your name. That's quite remarkable, considering your age, is it not?
That is true. He seems a lot less judgmental of those actions than Johanka did as well.
Well, you're too kind, Monsignor. I'm just trying to do what's right, and what's needed.
Quite rightly, too, my son. I expect we'll be hearing more about you. But I assume you didn't come here to exchange pleasantries. Or am I mistaken?
No, Monsignor, you're quite right. I'm here about Johanka.
Naturally. I'd be quite surprised if it were otherwise. So, tell me what's on your mind.
Why do you have her imprisoned? How did you find... Oh, is this going to turn out that it's me talking to Father Godwin? Did he get... He cannot have got word that fast. I came straight here. It's been about 12-ish hours since I spoke to him. No, actually, it's been closer to 24. Still.
How did you find out about Johanka?
Word came to me of what was happening here. That some young girl was claiming to speak for the Blessed Virgin. I traveled here immediately, as my duty demanded, and observed events in Sasau incognito, in order to examine the matter at first hand.
I see. Why did you have her imprisoned?
Because she broke the promise she made to me, and persisted in actions that bear the signs of heresy.
She promised to stop. Oh. Thing is, I can imagine she did, and then saw another vision and felt like she had to.
And what will happen to Johanka now?
I must weigh the gravity of her transgressions and investigate these alleged visions of hers. I consider it very improbable that she is indeed being visited by the Blessed Virgin. Nevertheless, I cannot at this time rule it out entirely.
Okay, that's good. That would mean she's innocent if it turns out she's having the visions, right?
So you think it could be true? In that case, Johanka hasn't done anything wrong.
It's not that straightforward. Even if her visions were real, she was at fault for interpreting them as she saw fit and preaching to the people.
Okay, let's not push it there.
When will you decide, Monsignor?
As soon as I am fully informed of the facts. Although it seems the matter is a little more complicated than I first thought. I will call Johanka and the witnesses, question them, and then pronounce a verdict.
Oh, no, I didn't help everyone in... Did I? The woman and the tailor, I didn't help. She's probably not going to be a very good witness. No, she's not. Hopefully the merchant will.
And if you decide she's guilty, will you have her burned at the stake?
Good gracious, no.
Okay.
I have no wish to see her die. As St. Augustine said, heretics should be saved, not put to death. The triumph of the Church is their salvation, not their death, even if they deserve it. If I find her guilty of any heresy, she will be punished, but the severity of her punishment will depend on her will to repent and make amends.
I see. And will there be anyone there to defend Johanka?
Do you doubt my judgment?
I would never be so bold, sir. But surely it would be only just that someone should speak for Johanka about all her good deeds and so forth?
Naturally, I will also question those who would speak in her defense. Since you are interceding, I expect you have someone in mind?
Yes. Actually, me.
As I surmised. But this
think of-
matter does not directly concern you. Why should I allow you to appear before the court?
I represent Sir Radzig. It's my Christian duty. Now, he's not going to be that impressed by the whole title thing, is he? So let's just go with, it's a Christian duty. Of course it is, yes.
Johanka is my neighbour, and I have a Christian duty to come to her aid. I can't just stand by and do nothing.
I have to concur with you on that. Your concern seems sincere, so I will grant your request. Very well. You will defend Johanka. You may speak in her defense if you so wish. You may also bring witnesses.
Okay.
I will question any such witnesses, and naturally I shall question Johanka too.
Thank you, Monsignor. In that case, I'll need to speak to Johanka first.
That won't be possible. It's forbidden by the Inquisition procedure. Until the entire matter is resolved, Johanka can speak only to me and no one else.
Eh? But I need to just... Please?
But I have to talk to her. How can I defend her otherwise?
No, you are strictly forbidden to speak with her. I have already conceded to something that is quite beyond normal practice. Bear that in mind. I would like to expedite the matter. The trial will take place in Sassaw Church in 3 days' time at the latest. Come and let me know when you're ready to proceed. In the meantime, I will continue my investigation.
Okay.
Very well, Monsignor. I had better get on with it then, sir. Farewell.
Before you go, you know Johanka longer than anyone else. You spent a lot of time with her, as I've discovered. Tell me, my son, truthfully, what do you think of this whole affair?
She's honest. No! Also, yes, she's a simple girl. No, she helps people. She doesn't treat everyone the same.
Johanka is an honest girl and virtuous. She's a good Christian who attends church and thinks of others.
Good. Please continue.
About the Virgin Mary?
Phew, okay, I've got to vouch for it. I've got to just, yeah.
I believe the Virgin does visit her. Johanka is honest. She wouldn't lie about such a thing. And the things she says sound truthful and compelling. It really does seem like a heavenly revelation. Who else could it be from? But the Virgin Mary.
The demon vision.
The origin of these so-called visions of hers must be investigated. But thank you for your candor. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Can I talk about the whole...
She's worried about Matthias. He's from Skalitz too, and she's very fond of him. But he was wounded in a raid on Merhojed recently, and since then he's been lying in a fever. Johanka believes that if she does what the Blessed Virgin wants of her, Matthias might be healed.
Interesting. Anything else?
I don't want to talk about the custodian.
Johanka helped a lot of people. She worked her fingers to the bone helping Brother Nicodemus with the sick and injured.
That is certainly commendable. What else can you tell me about her?
No, don't mention the custodian. She's just a simple girl. She doesn't treat everyone the same. That's the... She didn't want to treat one of the people that was sick because he wasn't from Skalitz. She's just a simple girl. Well, I mean, that's true, isn't it? Because that would make her seem innocent. She's...
Well, before, in Skalitz, Johanka was sort of, well, just a simple village girl. I never imagined I'd hear her talking the way she does now. She's completely transformed.
A simple village girl.
Yeah, you see? No book learning, so... Let's ignore those. She doesn't treat everyone the same. No, that's everything. She's a simple girl, honest, worried about people, does a lot to help people. Yes, that's it.
That's about all I can tell you.
Is that really everything?
Yes!
I have nothing more to add, Monsignor.
Very well. Thank you, my son. One more thing before you go. Let me remind you that it's your Christian duty to report anything suspicious going on concerning the church and the true faith, if you're aware of anything of the sort in these parts. If you prove yourself a commendable servant of the church, I would also take that into account in judging Johanka's case.
All right, Monsignor.
Okay.
I'll bear that in mind.
What would that involve? What would that want? Just, okay. So you want me, basically you want me to be Bailiff Hashek? Brother Fabian, Brother Nicodemus's taught. Okay. Right. So I need to get the testimony of a... Oh, right. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people whose testimony is not going... Oh, should I have given funds to... Oh, I probably should have given funds to other people. Oh, right. Yeah. So, he also did say I should report anything. I'm not totally sure I've got anything to report. I'm also not totally sure I'm comfortable with the idea of becoming an inquisitor's stooge. Let's start.
Yeah.
Oh no, I kind of upset him last time I spoke to him. This is not going to go well. Oh, this might not go well because I had words with him earlier. Well, I could threaten to reveal.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I need something from you, sir. I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor and is facing charges of heresy.
I did, and it's most disturbing news.
What you might not know is that he's agreed that I can defend her at the trial.
You? Do you even know what to say?
No, not really. But I'm going to think of something.
Well, I'm preparing for it. I'll think up something, don't worry. But I need you to testify at the court. In Johanka's defense, of course.
Naturally. You don't think I could just sit here and do nothing?
Good man.
Besides, the bishop has already insisted that I appear before the court.
Oh.
Oh, he
Right.
thinks you'll...
One moment. I apologize if I was a little hasty. This whole affair has left me anxious. I appreciate that you want to defend her. However, I don't think it would have any effect. No offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court. I'm afraid the Inquisitor will judge as he sees fit, whatever anyone says. But I have an idea how you could help.
Oh? How's that?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
I'm the son of Sir Ranzik. I can't really flee much. Also, they've got long...
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sure Johanka will be acquitted by the court and everything will be all right. Running would just confirm the Inquisitor's suspicions.
you know...
And she'd always be looking over her shoulder.
I don't agree. As I said, I don't believe you can affect the outcome of the court.
You might be right.
If Johanka flees, yes, she'll have to lie low for a while. But in time, it will all blow over. You can take her anywhere, as long as it's far enough from here. A girl like that will always find her feet. She can easily hide out somewhere where she's not known. Maybe there could even be a place for her on my estate. Think about it. But whatever you decide, if Johanka comes to any harm, you'll have me to answer to. I'm very fond of her, and her of me, and I don't want anything to happen to her, understand?
Okay.
But if everything ends well, I'll show you my gratitude, I assure you.
Yeah.
God be with you.
Don't take this the wrong way. I actually believe you do mean well, sort of. But your ulterior motives are coming through there. Definitely. I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't want to save her. I think he would. But I think that he's a little biased towards the whole run away and come and live with me thing. Where is Johanka being held? Is it possible that I could sneak in and see her? Like, is she going to be held in the monastery? Or is she going to be held in the jail? Maybe I should go and talk to her. I know I'm not supposed to. It's strictly forbidden. And with Johanka at the moment, she'd probably be the first one to tell me off. Yeah, this is where it would have been advantageous if I had made the donation to either the priest or to the bailiff. Probably the bailiff. Right, now where was the jail? The jail was down here, I believe. Hi. Oh, there she is. Probably want to give that some thought. I wonder if I could convince one of them to let me speak to her. Yeah, might want to do that a little later. Okay, let's talk to the bailiff.
Master Bailiff, Inquisitor Yaroslav is going to try Johanka.
I know. He was here asking questions, too.
Oh? What did he want to know?
Various things. Like how things are here, whether people are honest, whether we observe the fest days, and so forth. And then he asked about Johanka. About what she preaches, whether people come to listen to her and that. He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau, too. I even heard that Katra, the swordsmith's wife, invited him to dine with them.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling me. Was he just asking questions, or does he want you to testify before the court?
Yes, he did ask me to testify, and I'm none too happy about it.
I see. And what are you going to say about her?
It depends what I'm asked, but there's not much I can say. I don't know Johanka very well. She seems virtuous and self-sacrificing to me. She's never done anything wrong, and no one here ever had a cross word to say about her. Until recently. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar talk about half the women folk here.
She's a virtuous girl. She's helped a lot of... She has, yeah.
Johanka has helped a lot of people here, selflessly. Her heart is in the right place.
True. But then there's that preaching of hers. Folk have been falling out. They're split according to whether they believe Johanka or not. I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'll wait and see what the learned bishop has to say.
Oh, can I? Oh, that seems really a bad idea. That seems like a really bad idea. Like, that's gonna make him not like me, but at the same time, he doesn't sound like it's... He sounds on the fence at the moment, and I can't think of anything to push him over the fence, but that seems like that could offend him greatly. I want to do everything to help her out. Yeah.
Thank you for speaking openly, Master Bailiff.
Goodbye.
I just have a horrible feeling that whatever I choose to do here is going to be the wrong thing. If I try to blackmail or bribe him, he could get horribly offended, and that will not work in her favour. I don't really know the bailiff that well. I'm guessing... it was you, wasn't it? Yes.
Father, the Inquisitor has had Johanka thrown in jail.
I know, son.
He's planning a hearing.
Rightly so. It's about time this whole matter was dealt with.
What?
What do you think about it, then?
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated. The things Johanka has been preaching are, to say the least, disturbing. Who knows what these dreams are that she speaks of? And her words are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray. Now, instead of going to church, as they should, they go to her in the false belief that they will find solace. It's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching left to us by Christ. They're misguided and swamped in heretical ideas.
But she's telling them to lead good lives and probably come to church and be... But the Virgin Mary speaks to her. She's not a heretic. Aren't those the same thing, really? I mean...
But Johanka is only saying what the Virgin Mary has told her. What can be wrong with that?
And how do you know the Virgin is really talking to her?
Well, I believe she's telling the truth.
Ah, but you can't be sure, can you? Do you really think a girl from the stable knows God's teaching better than the church? Better than the generations of church fathers and learned scholars since the time of Christ, who have studied the sacred scriptures and their correct interpretation? With all the evil that's already going on in this province, the last thing people need is a false prophet.
Christ came from a stable too. This is also true. And can I not mention the book? I read the book in this very church.
Christ also came from a stable, though?
There's no comparison. Christ was the Son of God.
No.
Enough of this. Bishop Yaroslav asked me to present my suspicions before the court, and that's what I intend to do. He will then resolve the whole matter. He is, after all, more qualified than anyone to do so.
If you say so, Father.
Take care now.
Oh, well, that's not good. That is so not good at all. So he is going to be an against. All right, so we're -1, I would say. -1. Who else did I want to talk to? Oh. Guta the tailor's wife. She's not gonna testify. Or at least if she does, she's not gonna be impressed. We didn't. No, I'm so...
Welcome, Henry.
Yeah, this is not gonna go well, is it?
Good evening.
Oh, I may have to bribe the bailiff.
I need your help with something.
I'm getting desperate now.
I'm sure you've heard. Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor.
Who hasn't? The whole of Sasso is talking about it. And the Inquisitor was asking around about her.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court and say something in Johanka's defense.
I understand, but you'll have to forgive me. I don't want to show my face there. Never mind speak for Johanka. I wouldn't want people to associate me with her. What with her being a heretic?
She's not a heretic.
People and their evil tongues. But I understand. It's a tricky
All
business.
right, so that's a
I won't
0.
push you.
Good luck.
That's a 0. -1, then a 0. The bailiff is going, but we don't know where he's... Oh, there he is. All right, look. Dude. How about I make a donation to the...
God save you.
Oh. Do I not get a chance to... Do I not get the chance to do...
Goodbye.
Can I not? So I couldn't consider my options and come back and try and convince you. Oh, well, that's not good. That's really bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm beginning to think... I'm beginning to think it might have been a good idea to agree to run away with her. All right. Right. So Sebastian's probably a plus, but I think his testimony is going to be cancelled out because they probably know there's an affair. I mean, maybe I should have told him I knew about the affair because I'm going to guess he already knows. So the bailiff is a bust. He's probably not going to go either way. The priest is definitely a negative. All right, Nicodemus will say good things. Adela will say good things. And hopefully Pavel will say good things. I should also speak to Katra, Sasau Swordsmith's wife. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right, that might actually be one of the better ideas. I didn't want to bribe the bailiff without giving it some thought because, you know, it can go either way. Just randomly come out and say, hey, I'd like to offer you some money. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hi.
I'm here about Johanka.
You're that fella of hers, are you? What do you want?
No. I'm just a friend of hers. Matthias is her,
Yeah.
fella.
Huh. God knows how many she has.
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav
Not
to
good.
come and dine with you.
Yes, so what? Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sassau, and it's only fitting he should be suitably hosted by devout burghers.
So, what did you chat about?
And what did you talk about?
What we discussed with the Monsignor is none of your business.
All right, what have you got against Johanka?
What have you got against Johanka?
Nothing. The question is, what has she got against us? Tell me that.
What?
Yeah, that...
She turns up here and tries to tell us how to live our lives. Says the Virgin Mary whispers to her in the night. Yeah, I'm sure. To a simple village wench. I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. She's just getting people all worked up. Men, especially. Coming around here with her nonsense. Sasau is a decent, orderly place, I'll have you know. We don't want any trouble here. All this talk about hellfire and the end of the world. God have mercy. No one is interested in what she has to say. All they want is some spectacle. She ought to have thought twice before she started. Not that she wasn't warned.
Oh.
What do you mean, warned?
As I said, she was told.
Are you...
Damn it, woman, tell me what you meant by that.
I didn't mean anything by it.
Don't lie
Out with
to
it.
me.
If you must know, some of the fellas want to have it out with her and tell her to stop. No one wants her speeches here. But would she listen? No. The devil possessed her to bring harm to us.
So it was you who sent those men?
All I wanted was to protect the Sasau folk against her poisonous tongue. And I'll do just that. The Monsignor asked me to testify in court. And I'll tell everything I know there.
And I'll do likewise. Farewell.
Go.
Right. I didn't make a very good impression on her. But she's the one who sent the... Right, that didn't go well, but let's face it, that was not going to go well. She was never going to say anything nice, but I can neutralise her because I know she sent the thugs. Oh, all right, okay. The bailiff, I think the bailiff is neutral. The custodian's going to say yes, but he'll be discounted. Father Fabian's going to say something horrible, which is unfortunate. She'll say something horrible, but I believe I can neutralise her. So now it comes down to Nicodemus, Adela, and Pavel. Is that enough to sway him? Is that enough to sway him? Oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh. I do wonder whether I should try and talk to her. Like, the other thing is if I try to talk to Johanka and I get caught doing it, it's going to look bad for her. It is going to look very, very bad for her. Oh, Pavel's probably at the inn. All right, okay.
Brother Nicodemus,
You've heard something?
the Inquisitor has decided that Johanka will be tried, but he's agreed that I can defend her.
That's really quite unusual. It must mean he hasn't come to a clear conclusion yet.
Yes. I'll get her out of it.
I'm afraid it may not be that easy. The thing is, I expect Johanka will say the same things before the court that she's been preaching.
What are you saying?
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and it seems to me her preaching has a certain progression. Are you acquainted with the notion of the three orders of man?
No.
Not really, no.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores. Those who work, those who pray, and those who fight. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth and to obey the laws of God and man. It is the purpose of the nobles to protect the people and the church against all dangers and to maintain peace and justice on earth. And the church in turn has the task of caring for the spiritual welfare of all, ensuring the salvation of their souls and bringing solace to the people in times of hardship, so that they can endure their earthly trials and enter the kingdom of heaven.
But what's all that got to do with Johanka?
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the concerns of the common folk, and in the second, she criticized the nobility.
the third one she's going to criticize the priesthood.
So you think she might start talking about the church?
Yes, I'm afraid she might. I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor, and the wisest course would be to admit to being wrong. She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen to you.
Try.
But the Inquisitor said no one's allowed to see her.
No one except the Inquisitor's own men.
Oh.
You'll just have to think something up. I'm afraid Johanka's fate is mainly in your hands now.
Have I
I'm relying on you.
got to... I've got to look like an Inquisitor? Oh, God. All right. Okay. Okay.
Adela, the Inquisitor is going to try Johanka in court.
Oh, Lord. I hope she's acquitted. I was absolutely devastated when they took her away.
I need people to speak in her defense, and I'd like to ask you to do it.
I don't want to go there. Really. I'm afraid of that Inquisitor. But you helped me, and so did Johanka. It's only right that I should try and help her.
Good girl.
But what am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple village girl. I don't know anything about these things.
That doesn't matter. You just be yourself. It should be enough to talk about all the good Johanka does here, and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you're needed.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Okay. So, right. Oh, did I not ask Nicodemus about Johanka and the Inquisitor? Right.
Witnesses can be summoned for Johanka's trial. So, I wanted to ask you if you give a testimony. Maybe some learned speech in her defense?
I'd be glad to do it. Johanka deserves my help. Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and get as many as you can.
I am. Really wish I'd spent the money on the bailiff when I had the chance. I can't believe I won't have the chance. So now, right. I must try to talk some sense into her, but the Inquisitor won't allow anyone to see her. I'll have to think something up and proceed cautiously. I need to appear like one of the Inquisitor's men. I also need to speak to Pavel. Hi? You're one of the Inquisitor's men, aren't you? Hello.
Can you tell me anything about Inquisitor Yaroslav?
Only as a myth, a dark fable, a horror tale told across the flickering embers of a midnight fire, wherever hardened warriors and minstrels gather to drink and compete in tales of blood-chilling terror. And now bugger off.
Okay, that was not helpful.
May the Lord watch over you.
Okay, he's wearing a white Milanese breastplate and a funny hat. Is that helpful? Can I dress up as him and pretend? Can I pretend I'm one of the... Oh, if I go along to the jail and just announce that I'm an Inquisitor's man, will the Inquisitor find out about it? Probably. I think I've got to speak to Johanka. If I don't speak to Johanka, she's going to go off about the priesthood.
Yeah.
And... Oh, you don't think I could go and speak to Father Godwin and get him to come and... Do you know? I mean... Because he speaks out against the priesthood, and that guy he worships does all the time, right? So... Alright, where are you?
I'd like to know what
He's there. Alright, okay.
Goodman Pavel, you're still here. That's a relief. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Yes, still here, but not for long. I had some business to deal with, but now that's out of the way and I'm getting ready to leave. What was it you wanted?
You might have heard that Johanka was arrested by the Inquisitor and is facing trial.
Indeed, word has reached me. Poor girl.
I'd like to ask you to speak to the court in Johanka's defense.
Of course, Henry. You have my word. And the word of a burgher of Colleen ought to mean something.
Yes!
But to speak in defense of someone accused of heresy is no small matter. What do you want me to say?
The same thing you told me. That it was a sacred sign that you happened to be nearby when Johanka was speaking, and so on.
True. I'll tell the bishop that. You can rest assured.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you very much. Please wait here a few more days for the court to convene, then I'll send for you.
All right. For Johanka's sake, I'll wait. See you later.
Okay, good man. So that's 3 definite yeses. Sebastian's also a yes, probably, although... Yeah. He's a bit of a snake in the grass, that one. The bailiff's probably, I've got no opinion. The priest and the swordsmith's wife. Do you think there's any way I could convince the swordsmith's wife? I'm thinking not. This means... I think really the only option now... Brother, yeah. The only other option now is to go and talk to Johanka and just convince her to be meek. I have a feeling they're never going to leave her unguarded, so... Hi?
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
Can we... I really want to talk to you about Johanka again. Just maybe give you a no... Alright. You guys are just not going anywhere, are you? Alright. Hi!
Hey, clear off. No one's allowed to talk to Johanka. Bishop Yaroslav's orders.
I'll pay. I'm from the bishop. If I lie... Oh no, I'll pay. No. If I... If I pay, it's obvious I'm cheating, and then he'll go and tell him, or he'll accept it. I'm from the bishop. That's not a lie.
I know. I was just testing you. And you passed. I'm with the bishop's entourage, and I'm here at his command. Let me in to talk to
Okay.
Johanka.
In that case, you surely know that everyone who comes from the bishop has to show a document to prove it.
Good, good. Your diligence is commendable. I don't have the document on me at present, though. I left it at the monastery.
Sorry, sir. We'll have to go and get it. I can't let you in otherwise. I wouldn't want to anger the Monsignor.
Of course. And you can actually read, can you?
A little, sir, yes. That's why they put me here.
Very wise. You're clearly the right man
Brilliant.
for the job. Very well. I'll be back soon with that paper.
God be with you.
Yes, I will be back soon with that paper. Okay. Yes.
Our Lord's tasty.
And
Good on bread and for frying. Come and get it.
where should we find that paper, do you think? Oh, wait a minute. If I can manage to get my hands on that piece of paper, right. The guard keeping watch on Johanka was pretty harsh, but he informed me that members of the Inquisitor's retinue who carry a document to prove it can visit her. Oh. Mr. Funny that's standing outside of Johanka's bedroom. He's probably got such a document, doesn't he? So, the question is, can I get the document from him? Actually, a better question is, can I get the document from him without getting caught and without having to kill him?